You know, I just had a chance to talk to Brett Michaels out in the hall,
Yep.
which is odd because a lot of guests, after they're done with me on the couch, don't usually like to just
Were you
ignore
talking
me.
about tax day?
Not really, but he said that he promises free cologne because of your comment. You love the way he smells.
He came in, he had a certain je ne sais quoi and a certain perfume about him, and he said that's...
He created it. It's Rose and Thorns.
Rose and Thorns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, he's going to be sending us over a complimentary bottle. I think we have to share it with the crew. And that's fine.
I think so, too.
Anyway, it will smell nice.
For tax purposes, that's what we're going to say. We got it, and we shared it with the crew.
was a gift.
Today is tax day. It's April 15th. We've got Ron standing by. He's answering your questions in the green room. There's Ron right there. Call him. Yeah, exactly.
Call him on the internet.
With any questions you have.
A lot of people have questions, though, about their taxes. They've seen what has happened to the Tea Party, conservative groups. They're wondering, could I possibly be targeted? Will I get audited? And there's news out about the top Democrat in Congress investigating what's gone on over at oversight regarding the Tea Party groups in the IRS. And it looks like he may actually have been involved in targeting somebody who never wound up with their tax-exempt status.
I mean, think about what happened last week. On the 9th, the Washington Times revealed the Dallas IRS office was covered with Vote for Obama stickers. IRS office. The Hill broke a story revealing that Lois Lerner fed tax information to Elijah Cummings, who you're about to see. And finally, the House Ways and Means Committee last week referred Lois Lerner for criminal charges.
Right.
None of these stories made it to the Sunday shows, which, as you know, I have a lack of friends. I don't have many friends. I watch all of them.
Right. Well, you know, the House Oversight Committee chairman, he actually produced emails from 2012 that show Lois Lerner, as you mentioned, accommodating requests from Elijah Cummings, who is leading the charge in this investigation so far, but wants to move on, providing them information about an organization called True the Vote. It's a conservative organization that was singled out by the IRS and scrutinized.
No, so let me get this straight. What you just said is that guy right there, the top Democrat on the House Oversight, was coordinating with that woman, Lois Lerner, targeting a Texas conservative group called True the Vote.
Yeah.
According to emails.
They were coordinating to crack down on him. That is so wrong, isn't it? Well, Cleta Mitchell is an attorney for True the Vote. She was on the channel last night and had this to say about what happened to her group.
The IRS came to see its role as somehow the enforcement arm of the Democratic Party and Democratic members of Congress and the White House. And they began to carry out these activities to pursue conservative groups because these politicians were demanding it. And yet all of these people, Lois Lerner, all of them, they have civil service protection. And the only difference between what happened in Watergate, when Richard Nixon asked the IRS to go after his political enemies, was when Richard Nixon asked, they refused. When these Democratic politicians said, go do something about these conservative groups because they're challenging us and we don't like what they're saying about us, the IRS took it upon itself to do their bidding and to try to silence these groups.
She's absolutely right. And keep in mind, they started cracking down in run-up before an election so that these groups predominantly on the right, actually all that were targeted and cracked down on were on the right, although some left groups were named. They tried to crack them down, tried to keep them from mobilizing and being able to help their candidates in the election. So in that regard, the IRS was effective in tamping down free speech.
Right, and it matters to the American people if their politics are now being scrutinized in terms of tax-exempt status and groups like this. And also, look, but you'd think, Brian, as you noted, on the eve of tax day, they would be talking about it. The week leading up to it would be like March Madness happening and no one talking about any controversy surrounding it and getting to the bottom of it. So here we are tax day and still crickets.
Yeah,
not other networks talking about it.
And maybe, and in result, not many people know about it. I mean, people that don't do this for a living, who aren't steeped in it because they're passionate about it, who have 25 jobs and 25 kids, don't have time to look into the IRS investigation. They just think, well, I haven't read about that in a while, I haven't heard about that in a while. I guess it's over, it's done. But yet the IRS is the one industry, the one agency, I should say, that really everybody is involved with. Everybody, like it or not, you're involved with. You would think a year and a half ago when this came out, this would be resonating regardless. Let's just see where the chips fall. Well, the chips fell and no one heard them. That was profound, by the way, what I just said.
It was deep.
Yeah,
I'm going to
I don't
write
think I
that
could
down.
say it again.
But, and the IRS is even involved in Obamacare, which impacts 1/6 of our economy. And what do you get on the other channels? Like you said, they didn't talk about it. Fox News Sunday talked about the IRS scandal, but nobody else did. And when you think about some of the other channels, what are they talking about? They're talking about 20 cones on a bridge that screwed up traffic for a couple of days.
Oh, you mean the Chris Christie thing? Mm-hmm. I thought you were talking about the Malaysian plane, because there's one network who that's all they don't even break for commercial.
Actually, one is the Bridgegate channel, and the other is the missing airplane channel.
Right.
That's, if you want to make it that simple, that's what's
But you know what
going
they
on.
all want? Heather Nauert.
But we got her.
Yeah, we have her.
Brian, you're on a roll
a
today.
catch.
All right. Good morning,
I'm
guys.
Mr. Toss.
All right.